The breaking point that made you go no contact with your mother-in-law. My blood pressure spiked reading these. She called me the girl my son has been sleeping with. 1, we're married. 2, I'm a man? Wait, what? I casually mentioned not wanting any more kids and she said it was up to her son. My daughter's mother-in-law told her son to my daughter and hide her birth control so she could take the baby for a do-over. My daughter is now divorcing him because he refused to cut ties with her. Honestly good. She gave my exclusively breastfed 9-month-old baby formula behind my back. Not her fucking call. My son asked her not to kiss him and she got mad and said, I can do whatever I want. I'm your grandma. And my son said, nope. And then she started hysterically crying. So unacceptable. Leaving my wedding and within 30 minutes posting on Facebook, I've never felt so unloved and unwanted in my life. It's almost like it's not about you. She told my husband my kids weren't his. Meanwhile, she has 7 kids, all from different fathers. Talk about projecting yourself onto others. She allowed our girls to be left with a man unsupervised. My husband and I didn't know him and she had known him for 5 months. Absolutely not. Voted for Trump after we begged her not to because among her kids, there's an LGBTQIA couple, an interracial couple, a neurodivergent couple with neurodivergent kids. We told her all the things that would happen that would be negative and she didn't listen to us. None of her children speak with her now. That's heartbreaking. She posted my newborn on Facebook. I've told her before not to post my children on social media. Mind you, I was still on the table getting stitched from delivery when she posted it. I didn't even get to announce my own child's birth. What? Had me in her phone as mega bitch and faked breast cancer. Wait, what? My kid did a project on Abraham Lincoln. He told her about it and she proceeded to tell him that Black people in America were never slaves, that they enslaved themselves. Haven't spoken to her since. Yeah. She recently texted my man of 4.5 years, she doesn't know you, I birthed you, you're mine. I've never heard it called emotional incest before, but yeah, and gross. She told her son to leave me dying of a heart attack in the middle of our bedroom to go on a free Hawaiian vacation, so he did. I called the EMS myself, gasping for air like a fish out of water. I hope this is your ex now. She got mad at us for not letting her kiss our son and said, I'm just trying to show love. How else am I supposed to do that? We said, play with his toys, read to him. You can give him a high five. My best friend has cold sores from someone kissing her as a baby. Told my mother-in-law that and she showed up at our house the next day with her test results for sexually transmitted diseases, hoping that would change our minds. Nope, just creeped us out more. Like, just respect boundaries. It's not that hard. Tried to get me to leave the hospital after being essayed by her daughter's fiance and said I was going to ruin everyone's lives by reporting it. No, he ruined everyone's lives by doing it. I'm the child of parents who went no contact with our grandma. She tried to feed me blue cheese after repeatedly being told I'm deathly allergic. Sent me to the hospital. She thought she was building my immune system. No. Had the audacity to ask what our children would even look like after making several comments about my race. I'm Hispanic and my husband's white. For the record, they are beautiful, but she'll never know that. She started ignoring me for no reason, and when I confronted her about it, she pulled the classic Darvo move. Now I'm ignoring her and she's been blowing up my phone, so she's blocked. Not talking to my husband unless she wanted attention. For instance, she goes no contact with him even when he reaches out and then calls to tell him she's got stage 0 cancer. Stage 0? When she sent me messages pretending to be the other woman to try to separate me and my husband. What? She tried to choke me. Last year I had a very bad miscarriage. This year we found out we were expecting again. She told me, all you do is lie about being pregnant. You still never brought a baby home from last year when you were pregnant. My personal favorite is that I'm just his little girlfriend, even though I gave their family the first grandkid. When my son was 5, he had heart surgery. He'd been in surgery for 10 hours and she showed up maybe 30 minutes before he was taken back to the ICU to recover. The nurses came and got us and I just wanted to lay eyes on my baby. This woman started wailing, pushed me out of the way, ran up to my son who is attached to all kinds of machines, tubes, etc., said he was uncomfortable and then tried to remove all of his tubes and the IV. Then started screaming at me that I gave him a bad heart. My son is 20 now and we haven't seen or talked to her in years. What the actual She stole all of my identifying documents and then opened a bunch of credit cards in my name. Oh my God. Made fun of my essay and said it was disgusting for a girl to let that happen to her. Mind you, I was 9 when it happened. To my husband thinking he'd use it against me. Disgusting. Her accusing us of being FBI agents to kill her 17-year-old dog. Said she'd hoped our daughter died instead of the dog. And then hit a police officer with her car while fleeing. And led the cops on a 6-hour police chase. At no point did I know where this sentence was going next. Shook my baby to try to get her to cry because she was sleeping and not not responding to my mother-in-law holding her. Mind you, my baby was only 2 weeks old. All she did was sleep. I would have caught a charge. Threw herself a baby shower for my baby, and we found out about it from her Facebook post afterwards. This is so weird. She hoped we would have a child so they could die and we would feel the betrayal of my husband not wanting to speak with her. Worst person I know. This is a horrible thing to wish on anyone, let alone your child. Yelled at my husband because she didn't get enough time with the baby. My baby. She said she'd rather have no relationship with her grandkids than respect our boundaries. Careful what you wish for. When my 3-year-old came home from their house and told me that Nana is my real mommy multiple times and only after she came home from her house. Yeah, absolutely not. She called my son racial slurs. When I overheard her telling her best friend she hopes our rainbow baby would be stillborn. How are people this evil? My boyfriend got into a motorcycle accident and she told everyone I tampered with the motorcycle to try and murder her son. We have a child together. I stayed in the hospital with him until he was discharged, the whole time away from our child. I also took full responsibility of him and our child alone for months while my boyfriend learned how to walk and care for himself again. She didn't visit him, help us, or ask how he was doing his entire recovery. Good Lord. We're newlyweds. And at first she was really nice. Now I'm pregnant and she stopped speaking to me, and instead of checking on me, she decides to call her son and insist that I don't like her and that she never liked me from the beginning. So I'm cutting ties early. Goodbye, ma'am. Way to get ahead of it. She said, I'm not trying to be mean, but do you actually want to have this baby? Then days later said, I only said that because if you didn't want her, I was going to take her. This is my first baby and me and my partner never expressed not wanting our child. What? She admitted to me that she tried ending her pregnancy when she was actively in labor with my husband's sister. Then she told me she purposefully kept her daughter from getting medical attention when she was sick because she thought she was faking it. She passed away at 12. She would have been 44. So this is actually psycho? What? Refusing to acknowledge my daughter's birthday twice when she makes special posts for her other ones. Like, why? She took a meme I reposted, personal. It was a joke about men serving their own plates on Thanksgiving. She commented talking about how he's going to leave me for someone better because she'll serve him Thanksgiving plates every year. Anyway, her son and I are now married. We're no contact with her for about 4 years now. He makes the Thanksgiving turkey every year and he serves me and the kids before he serves himself. As he should. When she allowed our extremely autistic nephew to sleep over at her house with our kids after we repeatedly said no, and she agreed. My 10-year-old daughter was assaulted in the middle of the night by a 215-pound 16-year-old boy. She hasn't even apologized. She actually tried to play the victim herself. Like, how was I supposed to know he would do that? You weren't supposed to know that. You were just supposed to respect the boundary you agreed to respect. Mine tried to choke me out while I was holding my youngest. What? She favored one of our children and we told her it needed to stop. She didn't. She made our 5-year-old son cry because he thought she didn't love him. My husband cut his mom off on Mother's Day of 2020. Ooh, Mother's Day. She told me that her son should find someone who could actually make him a dad after years of infertility and us deciding to adopt. My daughter went to stay at Oma's for a month in the summer. When it was time to come home, she ghosted me. She had given my child to her ex-husband and they filed for custody. Took 2 years, but I got her back. She was never allowed to see my daughter again. I wouldn't allow emails or phone calls either. Of course not. She tried to legally kidnap her. What? She tried to wear a wedding dress to my wedding. Why do people do this? Like, baffles me. She said because I had symptoms of postpartum depression, I wasn't happy having the child we prayed for. We were infertile and did IVF, and told my husband to put cameras around the house to watch me with my newborn daughter when he was at work because I was neglecting her and abusive because I didn't smile enough. Then she said she would report me to CPS because I didn't sing to my baby enough. She tried to tell my husband to take our daughter and move in with her so she could be raised right. Okay. She canceled on our wedding 4 days before because we were uncomfortable inviting her on again, off again boyfriend we only met one time. Cussed my husband out because of it on the phone, and my mom ended up having that special dance with him. Honestly, so sad. We called to tell her we were expecting and she asked us who the father was. Classy. When my sister-in-law admitted that her and my mother-in-law purposefully don't attend or try to sabotage my daughter's birthdays and milestone moments as punishment for my husband getting me pregnant when we were engaged. So you're gonna punish a child? What the fuck? She told him I was the worst mistake he'd ever make. He told her I'm his wife and I'd be there longer than she would. Yes. She was mad I wouldn't let her in the delivery room when my son was born and threw a fit. There's more to it, but that's what started everything. Why do some of these women think they have the right to be in there? I don't get it. She treated my firstborn, not biologically my husband's, and my secondborn, biologically my husband's, blatantly different, and when I addressed it, she played victim. Bye. I actually love my mother-in-law. I'm so sorry y'all have to deal with this.